This UFC fighter has 5 minutes left to do the impossible, or else he'd lose everything he built over a decade. It's UFC 278, and the welterweight championship title is on the line. Current reigning champion Kamaru Usman defends his belt against a heavy underdog, Leon Edwards, a fighter who waited 11 years for this opportunity. But this is not the first time they have met. 7 years earlier, they first fought each other in a low-profile fight. The arena was half empty. Two hungry prospects buried deep on their prelims. No main event spotlight or championship belt on the line. Just two fighters trying to make a name for themselves. For 15 minutes, Usman controlled the fight with his superior wrestling. Leon couldn't find an answer, so when the final bell rang, there was no doubt. Unanimous decision victory to Kamaru Usman.
28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare, Usman.
But what nobody knew is that this seemingly minor moment would soon change the UFC forever. For Leon, having a record of 2-2 was not exactly a great first impression to the UFC. This loss was a knife to his heart, who sacrificed his life to become the best fighter in the world. To understand Leon "Rocky" Edwards, you first have to know where he came from. Born in Kingston, Jamaica, Leon's early life was marked by violence and poverty. His family lived in a one-room house surrounded by crime. When Leon was just 9 years old, his mother made a desperate decision: pack up everything and move to Birmingham, England to search for a better life. But the streets of Birmingham weren't much safer. On October 2, 2004, Leon was just 13 years old when he got the phone call that would change everything. His father had been shot and killed in a nightclub in London. With no father figure and anger consuming him, Leon fell into the same cycle that had claimed his dad. Drug dealing, street fighting, knife possession. He was headed down a path that had only one ending, until his mother intervened. So when Leon turned 17, she forced him to join an MMA gym. By spending his whole youth training, he would save himself from a life of crime he was destined to follow. It wasn't long before his coach noticed he had raw talent and growing potential. 3 years later, Leon went pro at just 20 years old. 5 years of conquering small British promos led him to become the BA MMA champion. By 2014, the UFC came calling. But his debut was brutal, a split decision loss to Claudio Silva. However, he compensated for it in his next fight with a devastating 8-second knockout of Seth Baksinski. Leon was finding his rhythm, building momentum, until December 19, 2015, when Kamaru Usman reminded him just how far he still had to climb. So after sacrificing everything he had to become a professional fighter, his second loss as a UFC rookie depleted his confidence. He felt he wasn't worthy of being in the world's biggest fighting organization. But this only drove him to countless more training sessions, grinding in silence, determined to redeem himself to the world. Fight after fight, Leon slowly climbed the welterweight ladder. Dominic Waters, Albert Tumanov, Vicente Luque, Brian Barberena. Each victory was more and more impressive, but somehow still forgettable. While Leon was stacking wins in silence, Kamaru had become a superstar. In March 2019, Usman defeated Tyron Woodley to capture the welterweight belt, the same belt Leon had been chasing for years. 3 years later, Usman wasn't just a welterweight champion. He was the pound-for-pound king of mixed martial arts. 15 straight wins, undefeated in the UFC. The Nigerian Nightmare seemed unbeatable. Meanwhile, Leon quietly achieved a 9-fight win streak. This included defeating legends of the sport like Rafael dos Anjos, Donald Cerrone, and Nate Diaz. His case for the title shot was now undeniable, but by the time Leon had finally built an unbeatable case for a title shot, Usman had transformed into what many considered the most dominant champion in the sport. Usman was so dominant that he was now going after Anderson Silva's legendary 16-win streak record. This way, he would enter GOAT status in the sport's history, and his rematch with Leon would be the only thing standing in his way. Fight week arrived, and the narrative was already written. The established king is defending his throne against yet another challenger. At the weigh-in and press conferences, the contrast was impossible to ignore. The cheers weren't for Leon. They were for the fan-favorite champion. The pound-for-pound king was so praised and confident that he didn't even register Leon as a threat. But that would soon be his mistake. In his hotel room that night, Leon paced around as he replayed his loss from 2015 over and over again. Tomorrow, the world would finally see what 7 years of obsession could create. August 20th, 2022, Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake City's Vivint Arena felt electric. The betting odds told the entire story. Usman -360, Edwards +280. Thousands of fans waiting for Kamaru to collect another win under his belt. This wasn't anticipation for a competitive fight. This was for watching Usman cement his legacy as one of the greatest welterweights ever. Tonight, Leon Edwards would either validate every doubt about him or rewrite the entire trajectory of the division.
All right, Dylan, you've been on the ground. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're going to keep it clean, touch grass.
Edwards opens the fight with tactical precision, using front kicks to the body and oblique kicks to Usman's lead leg while avoiding the champion's early takedown attempts. The defining moment of the round came when Edwards secured a trip takedown, putting Usman on his back for the first time in his UFC career. Edwards transitioned to Usman's back, locked in a body triangle, and controlled the position for over 2 minutes. Edwards attempted rear naked chokes while landing elbows and punches from back control. The round ended with Edwards in complete control, having outstruck Usman 13-6 in significant strikes while earning 2 minutes and 1 second of control time. This was a morale win for the underdog.
What a start for the underdog challenger.
Huge first round for the challenger. Huge.
Usman emerged from the first round with renewed aggression, immediately pressuring Edwards against the cage. The champion's signature foot stomps in the clinch began wearing on Edwards physically and mentally. After a brief timeout for an accidental eye poke by Edwards, Usman continued his relentless forward pressure. Leon attempted a double leg takedown, but Usman defended easily, showcasing his superior wrestling skills. Usman then secured a late takedown and landed strikes from top position, outstriking Edwards 36-20 in significant strikes while earning 1 minute and 42 seconds of control time. Usman won the round, which now had them tied. Usman's psychological dominance was on full display as he walked Edwards down without throwing strikes, showing complete confidence in his ability to control the fight. The champion secured multiple takedowns throughout the round, getting Edwards on his back against the cage repeatedly. Usman maintained brief back control and clinch control for most of the round. Edwards appeared to be getting worn down by Usman's relentless pressure, managing only 7 significant strikes compared to Usman's 10. The champion's 3 minutes and 23 seconds of control time represented the most dominant round of the fight. This was the round where Edwards looked most defeated, sagging under the weight of Usman's pressure and beginning to show visible fatigue that would carry into the championship rounds.
Dominant third round for the champ, Kamaru Usman.
Come on, Leon.
Feet as well. When you start the feet, don't stand still. Get your legs moving, right?
Come on. Don't make it bully, Leon. Listen. You gotta get angry now, Leon. You're too down. Come on, you let me control you too much, son. You gotta get your hands going, Leon. You gotta get your hands going.
Edwards' corner urged him to increase pace and use his hands more, but Usman continued his dominant performance. The champion landed a series of strong punches early, forcing Edwards to reset before quickly turning the tables in the clinch and securing another takedown. Edwards was visibly sagging at the end of the round, having been outstruck 22-6 in significant strikes, and he appeared completely defeated as Usman cruised toward what seemed like an inevitable decision victory with 2 minutes and 51 seconds of control time. Usman was clearly up 3-1 by the end of the round. If Leon wanted to still win, he would have to finish Usman before the end of the next round. But to do this against Usman was perceived as impossible.
Body shot for Usman now. Edwards covers up, and now an uppercut and elbow.
Kamaru's all over him.
Usman letting it all go now.
A dejected challenger. Listen, stop feeling sorry for you. Well, come on, then. What's wrong with you? You're too now. You gotta pull the out of fire. Come on, Leon, man. You got it, man. Come on. You got this.
Leon's desperation was growing more obvious with each passing second. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, then 3 minutes, then 2 minutes and 30 seconds. With every tick of the clock, Leon's championship dream slipped further away, but Leon Edwards was about to stop time itself.
But that is not the cloth from which he is cut. I mean, that is a dejected... To the UK!
We were writing his obituary. Oh, my goodness.
Leon Rocky Edwards, your new welterweight champion.
Oh, my goodness. But we did not think that was going to happen in the 5th round like that.
And that is the reaction back at his gym in Birmingham, England.
The crowd erupted, 20,000 people on their feet, watching in disbelief.
Declaring the winner by knockout and now UFC
undisputed welterweight champion of the world, Leon Rocky Edwards.
But the only thing better than this was what came next. A post-fight speech that would inspire the world forever.
Describe what this feels like. Can't put it into words, Joe. It's been a long fight for 4 years. The old ultimates, I couldn't do it. The Austin, I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Look at me. Pass the pound. Let's just do it. That's it. We can win a belt from the UK. I told you. Now look at me now. Look at me now. I told you I could do it. I told you. I was born in Jamaica with nothing. I live in a wooden shed, zinc roof. Look at me now. Look at me now. Stress season. We got it, baby.
Social media exploded live, fighter after fighter expressing their reactions. If this story inspired you, make sure to subscribe for more incredible underdog stories from the world of combat sports.